5:30 in the morning. As I prepare for my workday, one thought keeps coming to my mind. Should I go all in and make my dream game from start? Or should I keep it simple and start small? Is there a correct way to go about starting game development? Let's talk about it. Hey there, fellow game developers, aspiring creators. Today we're diving in to an important decision many of us face. Should I start with my dream game right out of the gate? Or should I start making small, simple games? Although starting with your dream game might seem exhilarating and exciting, and it may be right for some people, we're going to talk about how starting with small and simple games might be the right decision for you. Creating simple games allows you to grasp the fundamentals, hone your skills, and gain confidence in your abilities. It's a chance to experiment, learn from your mistakes. It allows you to understand which genres truly ignite your passion. And the most important thing about starting with small games is that you learn one simple thing: that you can finish games. You see, when you start with big projects where the scope's very large, a lot of game developers have the tendency to quit, either out of burnout, or they just get bored with their game, or frustrated. And because of this, there's many game developers out there that never actually finish a game. And slowly, that can kind of eat away at your confidence, and you might start to believe that you can't finish games. But by starting with small, simple games, you learn one very important thing: that you can make games, that you can do it, that you can go from the concept phase all the way to releasing your game to the public. And so that is what I'm going to start with. I'm going to be making 3 to 5 small games. Each of those games will likely be a different genre. That way I can experiment with the different genres, see which games I like, which games I'm good at making, which games I enjoy making. And once all those games are created, if one of those games really sticks out, I may further continue one of those mini games, or we'll start from scratch, and that'll be the time where hopefully I'll be able to know what my dream game is. At that point, I'll start my game dev journey making my first commercial game. But for now, I'm going to be making small games. So when starting out with a game, you can either dive right in, which is, usually what I'm tempted to do when I start projects. Or for many people, it may be smarter to start out with a design document. The reason one might do this is because it keeps you on track, your goals are very concrete, and it helps you avoid scope creep. So let's get started. So first we're going to start out with the game concept. We've got to pick a genre. I think an easy genre to start with would be the dodging genre. Survival type game. So this is the game where basically your character moves left or right and you're dodging falling projectiles that will kill you or damage you or hurt you. And then sometimes there's good items that you pick up along the way as well. In this game, we're going to also add enemies that scroll left and right that you're going to have to attack, and at the same time while you're avoiding the bad projectiles and trying to pick up the good projectiles. The setting of this game is going to take place in ancient Asia. The main character is going to be a turtle. Turtle is going to be able to attack with a sword. I think it would be cool that every time he takes a hit, his shell cracks a little, and then after 3 hits, his shell completely cracks, and that's when you get a game over. This game will also have enemies. We're not going to get too complicated because we don't want to spend too much time with this small mini game. And so we're going to limit ourselves to 1, maybe 2 enemy types. So next are the character controls. This will also go over the different type of animations that will be in the game. And so when you're not moving, there will be an idle animation. And then by pressing left or right on the keyboard or left or right on a controller, the walking animation will play. And every time spacebar is pressed or the A button is pressed, our turtle character will attack with his sword. Now we'll talk about a few of the different elements in the game. So first of all is the power-up. This particular power-up, it'll look like a little lightning orb that's falling from the sky. Like we mentioned before, it'll grant speed increase, and when you do pick up this power up, a new animation will begin playing where the turtle will basically start spinning in his shell and he'll be invincible during this phase. Not decided yet if the turtle will also be able to attack while he's spinning or if he'll just be invincible. Next is the enemy character. So we're just gonna draw a little crocodile here in case that's what we go with. The enemy, like I mentioned, will either come from the right side of the stage or come from the left side of the stage. I'm thinking just one hit will kill the enemy, not to make it too complicated. As you progress further in the game, the rounds will increase in difficulty, so multiple enemies during later levels or later rounds. So next we're going to talk about projectiles. And so this is kind of the main point of the avoidance dodging genre, is that there are falling projectiles that you need to dodge. In this game they will be arrows falling from the sky, and the frequency of those will be based on the level difficulty. The last thing we're going to talk about is scope creep protection. So we're going to want to keep our game short. We're going to limit ourselves to probably max 10 levels. We're going to limit ourselves to, a low number of enemy types. Probably just go with one enemy because I'm going to have to animate these by hand, and since I'm not very experienced with animation and I'm not an animator, I think just doing one will probably be difficult enough for me. But maybe we'll do two if things go well. I think we'll do a boss at the end. So if you make it to the 10th level or the 10th round, there will be kind of a little mini boss that you'll have to defeat with your sword and dodge the attacks. We will keep the animations simple, so this boss will not be too complicated, and we're not going to add extra elements. So here's a little concept art that I created of the game. Following the game design document that we just laid out, I just went ahead and created what I imagine this game is roughly going to look like. So yeah, hopefully you like what that looks like. In the next devlog, we're going to start from zero. So we're going to open an empty project and start making the game. So I hope you guys stay tuned, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.